First, let's address the elephant in the room. This white shit on my pants. Now, it's not what you think it is. I just love donuts and it's a bunch of powdered sugar donuts. Now that that's out of the way, I'm gonna give you guys the truth of what's going on at Fitment Industries, and I'm probably gonna hurt some feelings doing this, but my goal is to give you very honest insight about what's going on, what's progressed over the last 2 years, why people are leaving, and you know what? A few of our team members actually left us. They created some videos. They got some good views out of it. Most of them were very positive, which is great. Some of them had some negative things to say, which is also fine. But I want to set the record straight, and I'm going to tell it straight to you exactly what happened and where we are today and why I'm excited for the future. For new viewers to this channel and those of you that don't know who I am Steve Hamilton. I am the OG employee #1 at the wheel conglomerate that we have. I started this back in 2003 when I was just 19 years old with zero money, working out of my mom and dad's apartment. And now, fast forward to today, we've got a whole bunch of wheel and tire companies. A lot of you think it's just Fitment Industries, but our team also handles Custom Offsets, Archon, Anthem Off-Road, Mr. Wheel Deal, SD Wheel, Anovia, MA Performance, and a bunch of other companies. Those of you that already subscribed to this channel, sorry, I've probably already told you that in prior videos, but I'm gonna actually get a lot more in depth today, so you're gonna get an understanding of the way the company operates and what happened at Fitment, better than you've ever gotten insight to before. Also, those of you that are new to the channel, you're wondering why is this happening on the Hamilton Collection? Well, the Hamilton Collection is a channel that I created using income from all the wheel companies. I also own some Pet Supplies Plus stores, a bunch of properties. Using all the income from that, I have purchased a collection of vehicles. And what we do at the Hamilton Collection here is we share all of these cars with the community. I let people constantly drive these cars, get access to them, and every penny that we make here at the Hamilton Collection goes to charity. So this is a totally not-for-profit channel. We are all about helping, serving the community, and giving back. Now, I know I just talked about owning a bunch of different cars, and a lot of you might think, oh, this guy's got daddy's money, but I do want to be very clear that I have worked my ass off at this company with no money. I mean, my family was on welfare, absolutely lived paycheck to paycheck. We would visit food pantries, like money was non-existent. So everything that has happened today is a product of my extremely hard work and some really awesome employees and other owners that are part of the entity that have really helped build the company to what it is today. Now I'm gonna get a little bit more specific about Fitment Industries. So super quick background, Fitment Industries was founded in 2015. It was actually the brainchild of Sean Chartier, who is one of the owners today. And Alex Martinez joined us right after about that 6-month mark. Alex is a really smart and good dude who we attribute a lot of our success to at Fitment. He has put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to make Fitment what it is today, and he really worked hard, and in my opinion, his exit from the company was very graceful. He even stuck around a little bit longer to help us film some other videos to transition all the viewers into getting used to Fitment Industries without him. Alex's sole focus was Fitment Industries and growing it early on. He did a really good job. Sean was there to support him, I was there to support him. Now we're gonna get to the fun stuff and why I, as an owner, actually quit Fitment Industries and the other companies back in 2020. So up to that point, I had worked, as I mentioned, ridiculous hours. It sacrificed family, it sacrificed friends, and God bless my wife for sticking with me through thick and thin. She has been my rock, and she has really been an awesome person. And if you have someone that's willing to stick with you while you are busting your ass to develop something that you really believe in, especially if it's for a long period of time, then stick with that person. She's good for you. What kind of messed everything up was COVID. At the end of March of 2020, we slowed down drastically. It was scary. For 2 weeks, we were like, gosh, do we have to lay off, fire people? Like, we panicked because sales dropped. I think the whole world panicked. And we made some changes that really, just within that 1 or 2 week period, that were very reactive, that allowed us to survive and be around. Then stimmy checks were released, and it did the exact opposite. Not only to us, to a lot of the e-commerce world. So mid-April 2020, everybody all of a sudden gets a whole bunch of cash, and we have our biggest sales day ever the day that the stimmy checks hit. It was actually kind of crippling for us. For the next, I think, 3 or 4 weeks, the orders were coming in at a pace far greater than our team could handle. We did not have enough people to be able to manage and take care of all those orders, and it was insanity. I remember coming back into warehouse operations. There was a habit prior to us hiring some of the really great leaders in the C-suite team that we have today. There was a cyclical period of me having to come in and rescue the warehouse every single year. Something would fall apart, but this was different. I walked into this warehouse and it was a nightmare. Customers' orders were getting lost, they were missing. There was not even a path for me to walk. So I spent literally from 5 a.m. until midnight every day of that May 2020 getting us caught up, and that burned me the hell out. Even for me, that kind of put me at my limit. So then all the owners kind of got together at that point. There are 6 owners total, and all the owners got together and we decided that we have done this for a long time. We have worked long hours. We have sacrificed too much family, friends time. It is time for us to build a great team and transition and exit out of the company. So that's what we did for the next month or so. We worked really hard to hire some people that came from some really good organizations. Many of them are still with us today, and those are the people that clearly know what the hell they're doing. So built this C-suite, and all of us stepped away from the company. We quit for a year and a half. And let me tell you what, it was pretty nice. You lose some of your identity when you quit. I actually didn't know what to do with myself. There's a little bit of struggle there early on with who am I, what am I doing? Like, that was all my value. It was all tied up in this company. But I'll tell you what, it was still great having all that time. Yeah, it was good. The C-suite that we hired did exactly what we asked them to do. We asked them to build some structure to allow us to scale this company, hire a bunch of people, because we grew 35 to 50% every single year since I started this organization in 2003. We've grown 35 to 50% every year. So always in hiring mode, always growing, always doing our best to continue growing into the future. Their job was to stabilize, bring in an actual solid HR team, and they did exactly that. Then a huge storm of stuff happened roughly in about February of this year, 2022. Right around the end of February, all of a sudden sales started to dive, and we were like, what the hell is happening? We have hired an additional 50% of people based upon what last year's number was. I think we hired even more than that because we expected 50% growth. And then the Ukraine war happened. They stopped building new cars. Oil prices went haywire. Inflation was going crazy. Supply chain issues. We couldn't get wheels and tires. There were 5 other issues that all it was this perfect storm of stuff that all kind of happened at once. And it wasn't with just us. If you look around, everybody is hiring freeze or laying off. Amazon, Redfin, Tesla, Twitter. The list is actually insane. Amazon is shuttering buildings, stopping buildings that they were going to do. There is a huge economic kind of reset happening. I read an article back in September that for the first time actually ever, e-com sales dipped this year, again, ever. So we had some hurdles to face that weren't just unique to us, and we had some digging to do. As months progressed in our digging, we realized that we were actually outpacing the industry in a good way. The automotive online industry is actually down about 30 to 40%, where we were relatively flat on the year. It's impossible for me to recognize flat as a win because we've always grown, but that is what it is. But where the unfortunate issue happened was we had a lot of team members. We hired for growth, we were not growing. So we had to take some drastic measures. We had to do a hiring freeze. We had to reevaluate what our plan was if this was the new normal. And honestly, there was a lot of tension as we constantly kind of reshifted our strategy, and people don't like stability. I do want to interject and say that it's kind of unfortunate those that dropped off, because in my opinion, for 19 years, we built some really, really goodwill. It was no secret how awesome our culture is and was in the past at Custom Offsets, Fitment Industries, and all the other companies. People would constantly talk about it on Facebook. I'd hear about it. We were clearly different from the rest, and we built up all that goodwill over 19 years. And frankly, those that are with us right now, and we have maybe 40% less staff than we did, and maybe I think when we started the year, those that are with us are those people that are mentally tough, that have endured all of this, and that are clearly the right fit for our organization. So thank you to all of you guys watching that are still part of the organization. I sincerely appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart. I think one of the biggest things that I learned along the way, as I have been heavily involved, so I am fully back involved working 60 to 80 hour weeks, everything's cyclical, right? Working insane weeks right now, and what I have learned is that our marketing kind of dictated every facet of the company. And as all the owners work to unwind some things, we realize that that's a lot of the unwinding that needs to be done. When marketing has too much influence on sales, customer service, it's dangerous. I'll give you one example, right? Marketing says if we stock it, we can sell it, right? So why don't we just go order every single possible finish and size in a wheel because they'll sell it? Well, that was balance that actually I brought to the organization before I left. It was, no, that's just not true, guys, sorry. It doesn't work that way. And I was gone. I didn't have that presence, that voice. And then the ordering got crazy, and sorry guys, it doesn't work. There's a glut of inventory as a result of that, especially when sales are flat. That's just one of many examples. Not throwing shade on anybody. It's people are equipped with a certain set of skills, and a lot of people have a great set of skills, and sometimes there are misses. So I covered the sales flat and us being a little bit overemployed. I covered that marketing was kind of running a little bit too much of the organization. And then we did realize there's a bunch of cost savings opportunities with subscriptions that we did, and just a lot of waste that was happening. Owners, I think, have a special intuition because we've worked with the organization for 19-something years, and there's certain things we can see that nobody else can really see. It's actually pretty exciting being back in the mix of things. And ultimately, I think that we've done a great job stabilizing, and I genuinely believe in my life that everything happens for a reason. There are some amazing people that have left us, and it's really hurt, but I don't like to think of it as, wow, we really messed up, and in some cases we might have. I like to think of it more as, okay, you know what, that happened for a reason. I need to figure out how we're gonna become better from this, and that is my general philosophy in life. You have to think that way, right? And so we've had that mindset as we've restructured a lot of the way we do content. You have Gels and Dakota who left recently, right? And I think Gels specifically complained about him having to do too much sales or pushing specific product on media. Well, the fact of the matter is that nobody wants to watch a company doing enthusiast-driven things anymore. People don't want to watch Fitment Industries going and having fun, and we saw that with metrics. So unfortunately, what he loved to do wasn't getting views. That's the fact of the matter, and it sucks. It is what it is. It sucks when you're working and sit in front of a camera, and that's what you want to do. You want to be a personality, but if you're not getting views, then strategy has to be shifted at the end of the day. So we've made all of these changes over the last 6 months. A lot of it's with content strategy. A lot of it is across. It's not just marketing. It is organizational wide. I don't want to understate that our C-suite that are still with us, those that are gone, there's a reason they're gone. Those that are still with us are some troopers, and they wouldn't be with us if we didn't think they were fucking amazing talent. And then all of our leads and all of our employees underneath them are people that we genuinely care about, and we only want the best for them. And you know what? We've changed a lot of our strategies. We started implementing them all this month and in prior months, and all of this labor yielded the fruit that we were hoping for. This Black Friday and Cyber Monday weekend was our very first 4 or 5 day period that absolutely blew last year out of the water. So this is after flat and negative growth all year. All of a sudden, our new strategies, our team members that are dedicated and loyal and stuck it out and pivoted and got us on the right track, have delivered us a fucking kick-ass week. And it has really lifted everybody's spirits throughout the organization. And we think that this is the new foundation for what we're gonna see next year into kicking some serious freaking ass. I think one of the biggest reasons we've had so much of this success is because we have a huge assortment of product, huge assortment of wheels, tires, suspension, performance parts. And honestly, our pricing is so freaking competitive, and our websites are so functionally easy to use. That's really a big part of that growth. To be clear, outside of that little blip in 2020 when things got crazy, we have always managed customer service and getting orders out to people really well. Fortunately, no part of that broke. It was all really just in our strategy and some waste around the company. But going forward, we're all really optimistic. I am excited for where we're at today. We lost some good people, but it all happens for a reason. One of our owners, Ben, at one of the town halls that we have every single week, mentioned how a lot of the people that we hire have no prior experience doing videography, graphic, warehouse, you name it. And it is our job here to nurture those people and train them and give them a set of skills that ultimately will help us at the organization. But if it helps them to move on to another place and make more money and sharpen their skills, then all the better for them. And that's important. We don't want to hold someone down in our organization, but we also really love and value those that stick with us, and we want them to continue to grow with us. But if they move on somewhere and they find something better to do, all the better for them, and I support them and genuinely wish them the best. That's the story, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Question, comment, like, hit that subscribe button for more info like this, for fun car stuff that we do, and I appreciate your time. Have a good day, folks.